They never saw him coming because for years they thought he had already failed. They thought he was done, broken, forgotten. But they didn't understand one thing. You can bury a seed and think it's gone until it rises. He was 22 when he lost everything. Not that he had much to begin with, just a bag of borrowed clothes, a cracked phone screen, and a dream big enough to scare most people into silence. He left his small town, believing that greatness was somewhere out there, beyond the noise, beyond the comfort. But the world didn't open its arms. It greeted him with rejection, empty bank accounts, and nights that felt longer than most lives. There were days he walked for miles just to ask for a job that paid less than bus fare. Nights where he slept in stairwells, hiding his face so no one would know he had nowhere to go. But he didn't go back home. Not because he couldn't, but because he whispered to himself, "If I go back now, I go back the same man. And I didn't come this far to stay the same." But pain, it doesn't knock once and leave. It lingers. It breaks you slowly when no one's watching. And one night, after another failed interview and an empty stomach, he broke. He cried. Not soft tears, but the kind that shake you from the inside. The kind that make you question, maybe they were right about me. Just then, across the street, he saw an old man sweeping a sidewalk at 2 a.m. Bent, slow, tired, but not defeated. And in that moment, he whispered to himself again, "If he hasn't given up, neither will I." The next morning, he got up before the sun, not for a job, but for a decision. If I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail forward. He wrote a rule. Show up every day, no excuses. He studied, he read, he watched videos, took notes, improved his speaking, improved his mindset, improved his grit. And no one saw it. No one clapped. No one cheered. It was just him and progress.
A year passed, then another, until one day someone said, "You're not the same guy anymore." He smiled because that was the point. Eventually, someone took a chance on him. Small job, small company, but a massive opportunity. He showed up early, stayed late, learned everything. When others went home, he stayed. When others waited for motivation, he created it. In 2 years, he had transformed. Not just his job, but himself. Not because of luck, but because of late nights, early mornings, and a refusal to stay broken. At 28, he launched his own company. No investors, no help, just scars, lessons, and obsession. He built it brick by brick, day by day. He hired people with stories like his, people who had been overlooked, undervalued, dismissed, and he made them believe again. He never forgot where he came from. He couldn't. He spoke at shelters, at schools, at prisons, not to brag, but to remind people, you're not finished, you're still becoming. Years later, he returned home, same streets, same faces, but he was different. They asked, "What changed?" He said, "I stopped waiting to be chosen. I chose myself." They asked, "How do you keep going when no one believed in you?" He looked at the ground, then at the sky, and said, "Because I made a promise to meet the man I was meant to be, and he was waiting on the other side of a storm." So if you're walking through your own storm right now, if the mountain feels too steep, if the night feels too long, let me tell you something. You are not broken. You are becoming. The man or woman you're meant to be. They're not behind you. They're up ahead, waiting beyond the pain, beyond the doubt, beyond the fear. So rise, with bruises, with scars, with nothing but breath in your lungs, because one day they'll ask you, "How do you do it?" And you say, "I refused to turn back." This was a story by Voice of Fire. If this moved you, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, subscribe, because someone out there needs this reminder. You're not done. You're still becoming.